Can't really give a particular grade. There's some good things, there's some bad things, and clutch situations, and you got to keep growing from it and learning from there. I know it's kind of hard to give yourself a grade, though, honestly.
How about as compared to your personal standards, without giving it a grade, just where you want it to be?
Like I said, I mean, we didn't play a complete game offensively, me or the rest of the guys. There were definitely flashes of things that are really good, whether it's coming back in the second half or, taking the, opening drive and taking it from there. We had a 97-yard drive, and then we get in the game, fumble twice, throw 2 picks. Honestly, can't really do that. It's kind of hard to play from behind against a team who controls the clock like that. So, it was just kind of one of them deals.
What's it like for you being a guy that hadn't lost a whole lot when you started?
Definitely,
to lose the game?
Definitely disappointing. Don't really expect to ever lose, honestly, especially when you can kind of control what's going on. So, I mean, one loss was enough for me, man. It's just, I don't plan on losing anymore, so that's kind of the way I take it from there. And just one of them things, you got to learn from it, just keep going, just keep working.
Is there something, was there a feeling after you lost, a feeling of losing? It's only been like 3, that you've had. Was it like, oh, that feeling again? Because it's been so long.
Because it's just something that you don't really get accustomed to. And it's a different sense of losing when you're out there starting than when you're not playing. When you're not playing, you kind of almost feel like
as a starter,
you're not really a part of it to an extent. But we're actually out there in the heat of the battle, and then there's opportunities to win the game, and then it just doesn't go through. Definitely probably one of the most disappointing feelings in life, to an example. Like, personally, it's to the point of death in the family and losing a football game, the most devastating things. Other than that, the rest of my life is just like, it's like whatever comes, whatever happens. But, those are the 2 things that I can't really, it's kind of hard to deal with, so.
How are you dealing with this week?
Just got to be positive with it. Probably the biggest thing that we have to do as a team is, it's not that we lost, it's how we respond from it. Do you take statistically from the last time we went 8-1 and lose 3 straight, or do you win these 3 games and continue to do what we want to do this season? And in realization, I really feel like this is a different team in that sense as well. And I do feel like we'll come back probably a little bit stronger, probably a little bit more hungry than we were before. It was almost to the point where you do kind of have a sense of almost like you're invincible to a point. And then, coming down, even when we went to halftime, it was just like, oh man, it's no big deal. We'll be fine. Come back at the second half, we're just gonna drop 40. That's your mentality. That's what you do. And then when you see those seconds ticking, it's just like, man. And then knowing that every drive you might have to score, it's kind of hard to put yourself in those situations and expect the outcome that you want to. So, one of the things we have to grow in this offense is starting earlier. I feel like if we do put points up in the first half, we might have a different outcome. And it was a great. They were a really good team, but we also didn't help ourselves out at all. So there's nothing that we can't control. We just got to keep learning and keep growing from it.
How about the prospect of playing them again?
Whatever happens. I'm excited about the maybe the opportunity to play those guys again. Personally, no matter who we play against, whether it's Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, it's just you got to take it and run with it. Wake Forest this is a division game coming up. They're in a situation if they beat us, then they go play in the ACC championship game as well. So we have to prepare ourselves and to continuously work and just know that on game day anything can happen. So just got to go out there and just focus and execute.
On the interception, the first one you saved there, was that, when you look at did you just throw the wrong ball, or was there miscommunication on the route, or what do you feel like happened?
It was definitely just miscommunication, and that's something that we might have should have talked about a little bit earlier. I threw fade. I thought he was going to fade. He thought I was throwing the little shorter route, and it's just one of those things that you can't have in those situations after a turnover like that. because if we do score right there, you never know what could have happened. It could have been a momentum shift and a swing that could have propelled us to win that game. But I mean, you look back and you don't really try to think about it too much because it is kind of like a disgusting feeling, an upsetting feeling, especially going back and watching it. And like, this drive right here, this drive. If we do this, we do that. We score right here, and it's just frustrating. So I mean, you take it from there, and just continue to work, and not let that loss get you down. So just take it from there.
Is there a common denominator to kind of these slow road starts or slow first halves of your offense?
Not at all. It's almost to the point where you have to look at yourself individually and see how important it is to start early. I know we're a great finishing team, both sides of the ball. I mean, we did win the second half, 14-7, but then we just didn't do enough to win the second half. And whether it's offensively, defensively, special teams wise, we have to learn how to start better. And we have no problem finishing. I think that's something that's happened with the past teams, but now it's a problem with starting off early and banging it out. So just executing and not taking those drives for granted, because I think that's something that we do as offenses. Take those drives for granted. Well, we didn't score right here, we're going to score that next time. But what if you don't score the next time? Then it's to the point where it's always trying to catch up, trying to make up and rush. And, we just got to continue to work on that as a group and as a unit. And, me being the leader of the offense, you just got to go out there and continue to push yourself and the guys around you. So that's something that I'm definitely going to take pride in.
How much is not having a good running game the past couple games added to your burden? Is it hampered, do you think? Or?
I wouldn't say that, you miss it to an extent, but I mean, again, there was definitely opportunities to win the game out there, no matter what type of style of offense you run, and we just didn't go out there and get it done. Maybe if Andre there, maybe things are different. Maybe they're not. No one never know. So we just got to keep working. I do feel like Mike and DJ came in and did some great things, and there's some great experience for them, and those guys are going to continue to grow and become great players from that. And but again, I shouldn't have to, me being the leader of this, I shouldn't have to rely on other people. I should take it in my own sense and try to make sure everything gets right in the custom, and it's something that I just got to continue to work on.
I think not having Andre in there, though, from a standpoint of people just watching y'all, really didn't realize how important he is to the offense. That when he's in there, it does kind of hurt y'all. It limits you a lot.
To an extent, because you do lose that it's a mental part of it, and that leadership role that he brings to the table from being a veteran. And Andre does have that capability of busting every play, and so do those other guys. But in that situation, it could have been a little overwhelming for the guys. Playing in these games early in the year, I don't think I would have been ready either. But each week is another opportunity for me to keep growing. And by this time, I do feel like I'm ready for any type of crowd situation. But with the younger guys, I don't really know how they were feeling. So that's how you got to just keep pushing these guys. And I know they're excited about the opportunities ahead of them, and so am I. So we just got a lot to keep growing on as an offense. As you see, we're still not where we need to be. But, you do see some flashes and progress here and there. And, we just, kind of throwing the Georgia Tech game in and win, and just trying to keep preparing for the next, these next 3 games. Definitely.
Just from the standpoint of you running in that particular game, as you look back at it, what did you see? Did you see opportunities that you could have done more? Should you have not run as much? And just give us a feel for just as far as your running in that game.
I thought that I managed the game pretty well. Probably were some opportunities out there where I could have took off and ran, or maybe something where I should have gave it here or try to throw it here. And again, it's just one of those deals where all you can do is just learn from it, watch the film, try to correct the small things, because that's all it really was. It's an opportunity for me early in the game where I could have hit DJ on a flare route, You know, it was going to, then we missed a field goal. You know, so we can't really put that on the kicker. You know, we were supposed to score right there. And, you know, me taking it for granted, you know, stepping back, throwing off my back foot, and the ball sails, and we don't get any points out of that.
Mhm.
And then that's a momentum shift for those guys as well, for Georgia Tech. So, you know, it's definitely an emphasis for me to focus every play, and that's something that I just got to keep doing.
You're throwing off your back foot like that, is that feeling pressured, or is that just getting lazy with footwork? Why does that footwork area?
Probably a little bit of everything. Could have been, I mean, at that particular time, it was just like the easiest pass is sometimes the hardest passes to throw, because it's like, oh, you see him wide open, it's just like, then the ball sells, you know, it's just like, oh my goodness, you know, it's just something that you don't really think would happen. But I mean, that's something that we stress every day in practice, and you know, we did a lot of that actually Monday. And I mean, playing, you know, being a Division I quarterback, that's one of the things that, you know, you have to do constantly, no matter what. And you know, you see a lot of the guys doing it on TV, even in the NFL. But you know, what separates those guys from the elite guys are those small, minor details. And if I want to consider myself among the elite quarterbacks, I definitely have to take the small stuff and just continue to grow with it.